And now, in your own house, you have some...
No, I don't have one.
No, you don't. Yeah, but no, you do have some dinosaur things.
I've got the occasional thing.
Like, what have you got? What have you got?
What do you want?
Well, I don't know. Can you do me...
What would you give me?
You've got a dinosaur... Is it a footprint you've got?
I've got a dinosaur footprints.
OK.
Footprints, dinosaur footprints are quite common in Texas. You can buy 100 yards of dinosaur footprint.
Kevin Hart's shopping already.
I was about to ask the price for that thigh bone. I know what I want to do with my money. This is something good to show off to my friends.
There was a Texas millionaire that came the fashion to buy 50 yards of dinosaur footprint and put them in your garden, you see. And a Texas millionaire...
So jealous now. Kevin Hart's so jealous.
Bought 20 yards and laid them out, and I'm very proud of it, and then invited the next-door neighbour, who was also a millionaire, to come over and look at his dinosaur footprint. So the visitor came in, saw these immense footprints around and said, "My God, what are those?" And he said, "They're dinosaur footprints." And the millionaire's visitor said, "I had no idea they'd come so close to the house."
Very nice to see you all. And we're excited to see all three of you. But I happen to know that, Cameron, you were very excited to see Sir David.
I am so excited.
Really?
Yes, I am. I told him backstage we were making a Sir David Attenborough sandwich. He's the meat in the middle of our sandwich right now.
Leave you to it.
We're his slices of bread, you know what I'm saying?
She's a nice French stick and I'm an wholemeal Ovis or something. Little bits of grit in it.
Because you did want to be a zoologist.
I did want to be a zoologist. That was what I thought that I was going to be my entire life. I wanted to study the behavior.
I could teach you all sorts of things.
I've learned a lot from you already. Up on backstage, we're not going to mention those.
No.
But I ended up studying the behavior of animals. It just happened to be human animals.
Really?
Yes. You know, as an actor, that's what I do. I study human behavior.
And lots of discoveries?
Yes, lots of
big
discoveries.
surprises?
Big surprises. But I find so many more surprises when I watch your show. Yes.
You should see the outtakes.
I would love to. Maybe we can arrange a viewing.
Yes, anytime.
Okay.
It must have been a joy for you to film this because it was filmed at Kew.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Kew, is that there are plants from all over the world. Plants from the top of the Alpine mountains, plants from the jungles, from the deserts. They're all there.
And not far from your house.
No,
because that must be such a relief, because even your last television series, they sent you off to the North Pole and the South Pole.
Yes.
Which... that's physically really demanding, isn't it?
Well, only if you do it in 36 hours. But
yes.
I have to tell you, I didn't walk.
Slacker.
No, I didn't. There was a helicopter, and you have to wait for a helicopter. And while you're waiting for it, you're living in tents, you know. But they're very comfortable tents, warm tents.
But then they send you outside and make you do bits to camera.
Only very quickly. No, it is true. But actually, it's a doddle, you know. If you get the right gear, there's no problem, you know. But the difficulty is if things go wrong. If you lose a glove, you may well have lost 2 or 3 fingers, you know.
Yes.
But if you don't lose a glove and you do things right, it's a cakewalk.
Because, Cameron, you did a wildlife series.
I did a little show called Yes, I Did. I was trying to be like you, but I'm not as well...
Do you strangle snakes?
Well, you know, I've had snakes. My first pet, when I was 11, my mom and dad said, "What do you want for your birthday?" I said, "I want a snake." So I got a snake for my 11th birthday. He was a 6-foot-long Florida king snake named Norton.
You're kidding.
No, really, Norton. Really? Her name was Norton.
Oh. Norton?
You know the Honeymooners? Jackie Gleason?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Norton was his sidekick. It was just one of those things that happened in my family. My household, you can't really explain it. But yes, and I did a show called Trippin' on MTV about 7 years ago where I traveled around and I went to Jane Goodall's to Tanzania. And I had that experience with the chimps there. You know, their morning ritual when they get up in the morning, and the first thing the alpha does is put his bum over the side and take a crap in the morning, then goes and beats the shit out of the beta male, and then goes and bangs the alpha male. Alpha female, sorry. Alpha female.
They still have the power to shock in terms of the level of violence and things in them. Are you self-policing in terms of what you show, or is there some sort of BBC body that kind of goes, that's too gruesome?
No, I mean, people say we show too much. If they saw what we left in the cutting room, the editing room, that we cut out, they would be appalled. I mean, you know, lions, when a lion catches a wildebeest, it eats it alive, you know. And we don't show that. We show it very abbreviated. But you have to be careful what you do, because if you cut it all out, then you're telling an untruth. You're telling fairy stories, and natural history programmes are not about fairy stories, they're about the real world. So you have to make a judgment and do it one in the middle.
And equally, when you're filming the mating, does it get to a point where you just feel like an old perv and you just kind of think, I must stop filming this now because it's gone on for too long?
You see, your imagination is running away with you. Have you ever seen birds mate?
I've seen pigeons mate.
Have you? And how quick? It's gone.
Well, there's a lot of flapping about before they get down to it.
That may be that they are showing off to one another, but the actual copulation, like that.
Really?
Yes, it's known as the cloacal kiss.
Did you know that, Kathy?
Well, it's only what I've experienced.
Now it has a name.
Now it has a name.
Thank you for that cloacal kiss. One of the things that does make your film so distinctive is your voiceovers. They elevate things. They give it a kind of an air of seriousness and enlightenment. And we have a little wildlife clip. Well, I say wildlife, there's an animal in it. So if we just look at this little clip, you may have seen this before.
Such a disappointment.
You feel his pain, don't you? You really do. If we play that again with a bit of music, a bit of serious music, and if you do a little voiceover, let's just see if it elevates it. Okay, here it comes, here it comes.
Evening falls on the lush grasslands of Croydon as the humble tortoise gently mounts his chosen mate. And in a dance as old as time itself, it rears its head and emits the mighty mating call.
David, you know, because you've done so much filming over the years, you've been on location, you've been in all sorts of extraordinary situations, we've seen them, we remember them. What were the times when you felt most in danger, where you really thought this might be it?
Not very often, actually. I suppose the time when I really thought maybe this was not going too well was when I was with a very great expert, an East African expert who knew about big game. He was a great elephant expert. And I was travelling with him in a Land Rover through Africa. And we were driving along perfectly happily, and I heard a sort of... and it disappeared, and my expert friend said, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Well, that noise then." I said, "Yes." He said that was we were charged by a rhino. I said, "Really?" "Oh," he said, "Yes, it's a dummy charge." That's what they do, dummy charges. They come out and they just charge, and then you have to drive off, no bother at all. So I said, oh, very interesting. And then suddenly there was this noise again. And this time it ended with a boom. And actually the Land Rover was picked up by its horns from the back end and shook like that. See? And of course... And I saw this chap's hand. Remember, his hands on the steering wheels, white knuckles. See? And we went, and then it went boom again. This time it went under the back wheel and sort of shook. And eventually the Rhino went backwards and retreated. And I said, that was a hell of a dummy. Well, and then boom. And this time it almost destroyed the Land Rover, and all we did was to sit there. And if you'd gone out, that would have been dangerous. But as it was, I just hoped that the people who built the Land Rover had done all the nuts up. So that was the worst, I suppose, I've had.